Yeah, hey guys, how's it going? Little idea that just a brief moment of brilliance. We were sitting here watching some videos about the corporate takeover of our country and this gun control garbage that's been going on. I think most Americans are well aware of what's really going on here, at least if they're half awake. It's really pathetic, everything that we're having to contend with as being American people. But a couple of these videos really hit home that were kind of outlining the true facts of what we're kind of seeing here. The way we've been bullied and lied to by the mainstream media, CNN, all that garbage, pretty much every one of them. And we all know money's what makes the world go around. But we were just sitting here, and I thought to myself, after listening to some of the requests in one of these videos that I was watching about trying to do things peacefully, and not let them, end up taking our guns and the last of our liberties and the means to keep them, keep that liberty. And anyways, I sat here and started trying to imagine what it would be like, or possibly what it would take, and what some of the ways that a person could, as an American that supposedly loves their country, how could we get at the corporateness? I mean, there's really kind of hard to put the finger on any one particular person in government or corporation in general as to being fully responsible for this bad situation that we're in. But I had I believe a moment of brilliance of what could be done possibly that could benefit this entire nation right now, and keeping it free, and also getting the word out without violence. Of course, my idea might create a little bit of violence from football people and fans, but I think the violence and the upsetness of the people that won't be able to see their football game that's coming up here, it would definitely be a wake-up call. So my idea that I had was a simple flash of revelation as what it would happen, say, if a very limited number of people that has such an important and big effect on the nation, such as, say, football players, okay? I guess it's a call to action from myself to them. Right now, something like that, they could be the ones that hold the key to bringing some attention to all this, and to the, how upset people are about what's going on with the liberties of Americans right now. And that would be if they all were just to plain not show, not play, refuse, sit down, just due to their frustration with our government and people behind the government and whoever may be involved. So, according to what is being said, a lot of this is all from corporate, powers to be, and their money and their lobbyists and all this are the ones that are controlling our media and other agencies and institutions out there. Well, I don't know, but I could just picture, say, if an all full-blooded American football player was just to suddenly get this wild hair up his ass that felt that his country was that important, and he just plain made him kind of ill and didn't feel like playing that day as a show of defiance. Just imagine, I mean, there's going to be a lot of people, a lot of them are the corporate people that are making the money off all this. Like, they're like a commodity, and there's a lot of money that's made, changes hands. There's the betting industry, gambling industry, you name it, and all the big corporations, and that where the money flows. And so anyways, it's just something that hit me when I was listening to some of this stuff and trying to figure out one way of sending out a message. And my message is that I believe, at least myself and other Americans around me, are getting real fed up with the kind of the corporate police state that we're being forced to have to deal with and contend with every day, and these politicians that do nothing. You write them with your concerns, and you get a little letter back that states, thank you for getting in touch. We'd love to hear your concerns, and we'll keep that in mind. Oh, by the way, I'm running for this, or we want this. It just makes me sick. It really does. Your voice is not heard. Our politicians haven't been working properly for us. Our Congress, the whole system's down in the shitter. So, yeah, I was just thought, like, the pleasure I would receive, and the proudness I would also feel if, say, important figures, team members, would just to suddenly understand where I'm going with this and, realize how important they actually are above and beyond their performance level on the field, but also how strongly they feel about their country and the statement that needs to be made, and just plain refuse to play. Little case of fucking sickness, whatever, with a statement behind it. They're sick of their government and what's being, and the procedures and processes that are being forced upon the people. And no sooner did I watch this particular video that gave plenty of indication as to the reasonings that these things are happening to people all over the world, not just in America, but specifically right now to Americans, and how it's all runs back to the banksters and corporate people. If they were to sit down and not play, I would think some of these banksters and corporate people would have a lot to lose, for one. Be a great way of at least getting some attention. Just imagine the frustrations and the outcry from that, and what the mainstream media would be forced to have to deal with. A little bit of truth for a change, instead of a well orchestrated social event that went off uneventfully, and everybody makes money, and life goes on as usual, which has been shit. Okay, just a little thought. Realizing as I sat here with my partner and discussed this, she basically had to laugh, and maybe a few of you will get a good laugh, but all I can say is this is one American that was very concerned with the avenue and direction that we're going, and how things have been going for some time. And I just thought for a minute, I had a little grandeur of hope for this country, and just tried to think about some kind of event. What would happen? What could you do right now? What could someone actually do as an American to cause such a stir, an upsettedness, without violence, and to show how they feel? And no sooner did I watch this one video, which this idea came to me, while watching it, but the whole concept behind it is to stand for your country, and also the people that make you and them what they are, would be to stand by them. And right after that, I happened to scroll down while watching YouTube, and let me see, I can't move my thing over here, but basically the next video I saw was how good Americans are going to be forced to a police state like pat down to get in to watch a damn football game. Well, this is exactly what I'm talking about. It's this kind of disgusting, pathetic, sick form of treatment that we're all being subjected to, and it's not going to stop, and it's going to continue unless, say, I don't know, maybe some football players just stood up as an American and maybe understood the importance of what I'm stating here, and just plain said, you know what, F you, I'm not playing today, and this is why. Anyways, just a thought, had to throw it out there. I'm sure the game will go on as it should, and so will everything else, until somebody actually stands up and makes a move. But I know we won't be going to see the game, even if we could right now, and I refuse to go to any event that treats you like a criminal before you even go in there. I mean, they ought to be lucky and honored they have us as an audience, and the money that's put out, and you know, it's pretty sad when you got to take your son, daughter, whatever, to these type of things and be treated like a damn criminal. And I don't want to hear this shit about your safety. We got a bunch of candy ass individuals out there that are so scared of their own shadow, they ought to just dig a hole now and stay in it. Alright? Because if things keep going on like they have been, alright, I'll leave that part out. But anyways, things aren't looking good, and that was just a thought, something to throw out there, and you know, had to voice, you know, what I feel is a form of defiance, in a sense, in a good way. You know, you got to stand for what you believe and feel, and you know, I would think these players that are going to be playing coming up here would also should feel the same, and also fight to, you know, stop this kind of treatment to their fans, you know, to their people. Oh well, you guys have a good night and peace out, man. You know, if someone's got a better idea, you know, throw it out there, let's hear it. But to, you know, myself, I felt a brilliant idea, something that might, you know, hit these pieces of crap right where it hurts, the wallet, right? So anyways, it's just the way I see it. You guys have a good one.